Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about why repairs are not always in proportion to what the piece of equipment is worth. That is something I'm constantly answering here in the shop almost every day. So let's start by giving you some examples here. So somebody might bring you a piece of equipment, whether it's a push mower, snowblower, whatever it is, that they may have picked up at a yard sale for $25. I'm giving you a real story here, guys. And let me give you this story from a yard sale. So in the summertime, people will pick up lawnmowers for 20 bucks at a yard sale. They'll bring it to your shop and they'll say, I've only paid $20 for it, so I don't want to spend much on it. So if that happens, you got to ask them, you know, when you say not much, what do you mean? Do you mean like 20 bucks or less than what you paid for it? And believe it or not, I've had people bring me stuff they paid $20 for and thought that they would pay less than that to fix it. So they thought if I paid $20 for it, then I shouldn't pay more than $20 to fix it. Well, that is a misconception, guys, that you may have when you go to a shop. And what I mean by that is if the piece of equipment is only worth $50, it does not mean it'll be less than that to fix it. Now, you may have a piece of equipment that's worth $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. Then you've got a bigger margin to work with. But never think that because you paid $20 for a push mower at a yard sale or you picked it up off the side of the road that you're going to pay less than when you paid for it to fix it. And let me give you some examples here. So most professional shops will charge a diagnostic fee. If they don't, they will be bankrupt in no time, because I could be doing free estimates here all day long for free and never make any money. So I'm just letting you guys know that. Now, if you go to a shop with, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 employees, these employees have to be paid to look at the piece of equipment that you picked up from a yard sale. And it takes the same amount of time whether that machine is worth $100, $200, or $20. The shop has to pay that employee to look at that piece of equipment. They have the lights to pay, the insurance to pay, the utilities to pay. Just some shop costs here. I'm reading from a list here, guys. To run a shop costs a lot of money unless you do it the way I do. And I know a lot of you guys watching are doing repairs by yourself, just like me. It's the better way to do it in most cases. Now, the shop has to make money. They're not a charity. They're not there to just give free service and not make money. They have bills to pay. They got to buy groceries. They got to, they got to live like everybody else. And they got to make money, which can be hard in some shops, especially here in Ontario, Canada. A lot of shops are closing. Cost versus repair. Let me show you a few machines. I'm going to give you some examples here of what happens. And this video here is for the customer as well as guys like me who do repairs or any shop whatsoever. So let me give you a real example from today. Nice customer here brought this snowblower here a few weeks ago. Total repair cost is about $300. Customer thought it was a lot of money, but I had to explain to her that this is a $2,000 machine here in Canada, 24-inch Cub Cadet made by MTD. And I also told her if you go on Facebook and buy a machine for $500, which they're quite expensive here in Canada, you may have to do the same amount of repair to that machine. So she went for the repair. I explained to her, cost versus repair is not always in proportion. So let's say you got it for free even. It doesn't mean it's going to be cheap. So you just keep in mind, if you're a customer, that the shop you're going to, they have to make a living as well, just like you do. And they can't be looking at stuff for free all day long. But also remember, when you take your equipment to a shop, look at the cost of the exact machine brand new or an equivalent replacement. Make sure it's an equivalent replacement, not a cheaper maker model. And then you can look at the margin. So this machine would cost $2,000 plus tax. So, $2,260, close to $2,300 for this nowadays with the tariffs. So $300 repair is quite in proportion to that, to what the machine's worth. So you should be calculating your cost of repair as to replacing it. So like I said, $2,300 versus $300, that's the proper way to decide if a machine's worth fixing, not what did I pay for it. Also, if you go to a good shop, they will let you know if the machine's worth doing or not. So I told the customer, this one's worth doing. Also, if you're working on a Honda like this, obviously you got bigger margins to work with. Let's say it costs $1,000 to fix this machine. They're $5,000 brand new here in Canada. this is the way you calculate, is it worth fixing? Do not go by what you paid for it. Also, what you want to do is make sure that the machine is worth pumping that money in. So, for example, if this Cub Cadet here was in really bad shape, sometimes even a $300 repair is not worth it. So take it to a shop that you trust and tell them, look, can you look at it? Let me know if it's worth fixing, and then I can decide. And always give your customer, or if you are the customer, take your time to decide and get advice from a professional. Don't get advice from somebody who might fix one blower in 10 years that thinks they know everything. I hear that a lot, guys. I get people that come in, you give them a quote to fix it properly with proper parts, and then they come back and tell you that, you know, their cousin that's a plumber says you're being ripped off. Well, it's easy to say that about anybody, but you have to look at the quote, at the parts that are needed so that it's fixed correctly and you don't have to go back to the shop in 2 weeks for another problem. Coming back to the Honda here, the Hondas are rarely scrapped because most of the time they're worth fixing. The repairs are in proportion to what it's worth. The lower end stuff that I find is usually scrapped when they need a lot of work. So my advice here, again, I've probably already mentioned it, when you go to a shop, just tell them, look, I'm willing to pay you guys an hour. Give me a good estimate here as to what you think it will need and if it's worth fixing. Always remember, it costs money at a good shop that will properly look at your machine to get an estimate, because they have to pay their employees to do that estimate. That's why most shops do have a minimum charge, kind of like going to a car dealership. So what you do is you ask them for an estimate, and what you do is you have them call you with that estimate, and then you can decide whether you want to do it or not. Once you've accepted the estimate, please follow through. Don't renege on it after. The shops will not do your work the next time. So to conclude this video, guys, repairs are not always in proportion to what you paid for the equipment. Always remember that. The best way to determine if a piece of equipment is worth fixing is check the cost of a new equivalent replacement of that piece of equipment, and have a good shop tell you the condition of the rest of the machine besides the repairs that need to be done to it. So you don't want to pump in $500 into a machine that is not even worth that if you try to sell it after. So make sure the machine's in good shape first. Now that machine I just showed you, the small Cub Cadet, even if it costs $500 to fix it, that would still be in proportion. When I start drawing the line here is when I'm going over half of a new machine. Anyway, I hope this video has helped you out. Please comment below. Comment below if you're a customer. I'd like to hear your feedback. And if you're like me and you do repairs, please comment as to ways you've discovered that makes it easier to deal with customers when it comes to that. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day, and make sure you are subscribed.